Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda's in Spain. Still. Yep. How many more weeks?
2 more weeks.
2 more weeks. And noted. Okay, good. That's something I should know. So let me ask you this, Chemda. It just came to me. Spain has siestas. Things close halfway through. Everybody needs to regroup. Is this, after seeing it in person, a good idea or a bad idea? I can't see wanting to go to work after a nap.
Well, I initially thought it's a great idea because sometimes like naps can really help. I can't, I'm fried. And then I get up and I can do a little bit more. And I remember in Israel, things shut down also in the middle of the day. So growing up, I saw that happen. But here, and now that I'm a grown up and need to get my own stuff done and my own needs met, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because it seemed like such a great idea and I want to be kind and gentle to the people and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, your government buildings are closed because you're all napping and I need this information. And I'm thinking like, instead of a siesta, like give yourself a siesta, but stagger things like government buildings. You can't get your information. You can't get your stuff because everybody's sleeping. It's beyond just, I need a cappuccino or like, a quick bite or whatever. So yeah, I get it for well-being and like really how much is everybody working in a day anyway? You're kind of like taking your own version of siesta at some point, but maybe more jobs. You stagger. You take a break.
Yeah,
somebody else takes a job. Like it's more work for everybody. So I don't know. They also they're open pretty late to begin with. They're not open late at night. You think after the nap, you're going to ride into the night. Not at all. You better get your groceries done before 8 for the most part. It's amazing.
Report on the Spanish food. You have churros. The list goes on.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're in the south of Spain and there's a lot of fish here. And unfortunately, we're not so big on seafood, but you see lobsters that you can buy everywhere, shrimp, and the paella is very, but you think here's some fresh food. And we went to a couple of places. We just decided yesterday, no restaurants are getting any of our money anymore.
Oh yeah. No. Overrated.
Well, I hate to be an asshole, but I did grow up in New York City and we have 20 of whatever you have one of. We have not only 20 of whatever you have one of, whatever you specialize in. We have your people down the block. We have a whole neighborhood of you people, and you brought your grandmother's recipes. So I don't know. It's
right. In New York, all the grandmas talk to each other. We can have your Spanish food with a Thai flavor.
Right. We did all of your cuisine so much. Now we're infusing. We're Spanish fusion with a Thai twist or whatever. We're doing it already. And I feel bad saying that, but I love the tapas idea, the little plates of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because what's trouble about going out is you have to decide on one thing. And, it's, you want to try a little of everything, which is my favorite. We had a very affordable version of it, €3 per plate. Each little plate comes with let's say if it's meatballs, 3 little meatballs. I think that's fair. There were 3 little wings and 3 little whatever, 4 little this. And I'm thinking, this is great. The check was reasonable. But when comparing, it's just like ordering not the regular appetizers, but the plate of a little bit of all the appetizers. And I'm like, we have this too. And the tapas in New York, they try to get you because they call it tapas, but it's really just more expensive appetizers. So they'll be like, oh, it's tapas. So 3 meatballs for $12 in New York. And I'm like, I'm going to go down over here and get mozzarella sticks and wings and meatballs and whatever. Right. So I don't know. Does it add up? We're going to make our own meals and travel with sandwiches and get your cappuccinos, which are very affordable. Your public bikes, glorious. Love that system. Very nice. But maybe we're not going to spend as much on food, which I guess is good.
This is some vacation. Look, I got my problems here too. The season finale of Peacemaker is about to air. It already aired, but at the time it's about to air. And then the makers of it tweet out, yay, we just got picked up for season 2. And they show a cast of characters that are coming back. So you don't die. So John Cena doesn't die. It's from the Suicide Squad. There is a chance these superheroes will die. They don't. No worries. Why did they ruin their own show?
It's in the name, right? Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Somebody's going to die, right? I assume this is what you mean by this show.
That's what I'm hoping. I want to be heartbroken a little bit. I would have, and now you just told me everything's fine. It was a little upsetting. So all around the world, there's problems. I did watch it, but I watched it with a little less care. I'm like, you'll get through this. Trust me. Check Twitter. You'll get through it. Don't worry. Let me mention this. Athletic Greens. I start my day with Athletic Greens every morning. I drink my greens. And I'm big and strong like Popeye, but I don't got to eat that shit. You know it. Don't even make me say the words. You know green food. Ugh, there's a reason it's green. God's giving you hints. But now you just drink it. Ta-da! And you're fantastic. All right? Okay. They're going to make it easy for you. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. Well, maybe you've been checking the news. There's other shit going on too. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Never miss out. Here's what you do. Visit athleticgreens.com/KATG. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/KATG. Take ownership of your health. Pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance and don't die too much. Okay? Thank you, Athletic Greens. I appreciate that. Today's guest, featured on Wild and Out. I say the best one. I don't give a shit. Maddy Smith. Hello, Maddy Smith.
Hey, what's happening? Happy to see both of you.
Bless you. You're in New York still, correct?
Yep. Okay. Correct.
All right. And how's life treating you?
Life is good. I have no complaints. A little bit tired, doing a lot of traveling. Probably single since the last time I've been on your podcast.
Yeah. Well, Andrew Chavone, your ex apparently was on the marathon, and we don't think that a lot of these people we haven't talked to in a year.
Right.
And so you just go, hey, hi, tell Maddy hi. And he just starts breaking down crying. And I'm sure it doesn't help that you said I have no complaints, but okay. No, I listened to your podcast, right?
Now, by the way, he's right. We just had a recent 24-hour podcast live marathon, and it was me with my jaw dropping going like, oh, how's so-and-so? Oh, we broke up. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. And I'm so not
like multiple
good.
People? Multiple people?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I don't feel as weird, because it's like, yeah, I'm just in the mix with everyone else shedding their quarantine skin and rising up from the ashes like a phoenix.
How long were you guys together? Was that COVID related?
3 years.
That's COVID related to me.
Yeah, definitely COVID related. It was a sort of thing where I was like, the only way I can move forward is by totally getting rid of everything involved in my life.
So
that's so rude.
Didn't you guys move in during COVID?
Yeah, I was like bunking up with him, and then we got a place, and things were good. I just think we outgrew it. But guess what? I don't know what he said about it, so I could be.
Is
like that dumb bitch?
Well, I listen to both your podcasts, now, of course. And you're not tempted to listen. It's almost like looking at somebody's old Facebook status or something, I guess. But you're not tempted to be like, what are you saying? Because Maddy, to be clear, does say things. Now, she's with her 2 lady friends, and they're talking about, I guess you just call them ladies now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's clever, so she's clever about it. Yeah.
Before you continue, these men who use the word lady so specifically, now we're so aware of it now that I automatically get like I'm seeing you, like Maddy and I did he used the word ladies, which is like, it's such a, like, you men think like, and of course I have the utmost respect, so I'm going to call you ladies now. Yeah. And all we're thinking is like, all right, here comes some bullshit. Why are you calling us ladies?
Just call us females.
So there's 3 senorita broads, and they're
all right.
And they'll be clever about it. But let's say they talk about old cars they had. I'm paraphrasing.
Yep.
But Maddy would be like, yeah, I had an old car. It used to try to cook a steak in a microwave and never become a fucking adult. And does the ex go, hey, Maddy, can you cool it? Or you both don't interact anymore at all, but you're also
We don't interact, but I would argue that the way I do it is a little bit more artful than sometimes CB's displaying my shit on full. I'm like, bro, what the hell happened to privacy? You know what I mean? Right. Whereas I'm like a little bit more comedic. He does full breakdowns. I'm like, all right, whatever you need to do to get listens. Oh shit, roasted.
So it's amicable, right? The way I'm reading about this.
Yeah, totally amicable. It was, but now I don't see him, and I don't listen to the podcast because that's a sickening thing that you can do to yourself.
Right.
That's like waking up and choosing violence.
Though. You're right. You're absolutely right. I still would have to though, especially what's his podcast come out once a week. Also, I can handle that. It's not too much of a commitment.
I'm just like, you have so many better things to do.
I'd ask him for timestamps.
It just makes you annoyed. Because it makes you annoyed. You're like, I could call you up and be like, hey, this is how this is in fact not factual, and everything you're saying is blah blah blah. Or I could just be zen and move on.
Right. And it sounds like you are.
Yeah.
But you must have heard or seen something. Did he get it wrong in any way? It sounds
just like when we first broke up, he like did like a podcast, like the full overview of our breakup and like kind of shitting on me. And I was like, and it was literally a day after. And I was like, okay, King, you go. And that's when I was like, all right, what's done here? What's done?
What was his big? What you guys were done anyway, right? Like, is that just to make him feel bad? Like you were done anyway. He's not gonna think I blew it the next day.
We were done anyway, but you're like, oh, maybe we'll stay friends, and that's when you're like, all right, okay, bye. You talked about me on the airwaves, like in pretty heavy detail.
What did he say was the worst?
I just feel like there's a difference between being like, haha, y'all know I'm single now. Oh, thank God. I like to display myself fully like comedian.
Okay, the thank God part. The thank God part, Maddy.
All right. But he was like saying my name and like the full timeline of the breakup. And he's like, I saw it coming in October when we went on a trip. She was on her phone the whole time. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, now you're just talking about me like in very intimate details. And like, I just felt it was more nonfiction than me being like, I'm a comedian on a podcast. And when I turn the podcast off, that's when I talk about my private life to my friends. I don't know if I've explained.
Yeah, I get you.
Were you on the phone the whole time in October?
I thought it was a fine trip. I mean, in my defense, it was a college reunion for his fraternity. Yeah, I'm going to be on my phone because you guys are blackout and you guys still call each other by your last name and you're 36. So you tell me.
Wait, who's 36?
Andrew.
Oh.
How old are you?
30.
Okay. Are we over older men?
Yeah. Actually, just men in general. I tried to be like a whore right when I broke up with him. And then I was like, oh shit, you guys are annoying.
Right. Now I only see more of you. Shit.
I know. I was like, I thought I was going to be like, have like a rotation and like in and out Samantha from Sex and the City. I'm like, ew, you're all like so like they text you. How was your week? Shut up. Shut up. It's really bad. I really thought I was going to be like the king of the mountain. And now I have no tolerance.
It's like it's a thing us guys do for each other so that when you find one, you stick with it.
Right.
That's why we're so obnoxious.
Yeah, you're so
Thanks for doing us the favor.
Right.
Yeah. Seriously. Well, I think I said too much about the ex thing. I was just trying to explain how I was like more comedic about it. You know what I mean? But I also wasn't the one being dumped. So totally fine.
Right. Is it fair that the person being dumped gets to tell the story?
Maybe, but I also feel like the person being dumped always forgets that the person doing the dumping also has emotions involved.
Oh, right.
No, the person being the person being dumped is always like, go ahead, Chemda.
They just did. See, I think if you're breaking up with someone, you already broke up with me. I'm just the one saying it out loud. Like, because I'm not breaking up for no reason, right? I'm not breaking up for no reason. I can actually give you reasons. But if you cared about the reasons, you might have already cared. So
100 million %. So like, he was like, how could you be mad about this podcast episode? You're the one who dumped me. And I'm like, I have emotions. And also, if you saw this in October, why didn't you say something? You allowed me to break up with you. And now I look like the bitch in this situation. the weight that I carry in every relationship in my life is overwhelming. So that's why I feel like it's.
When you were on Wild and Out and you're in California, was that like a separate life? Did you not keep in touch too much? And you're like, you know what, this feels good. I don't have to deal with anything.
When I filmed Wild and Out in October, I think that was my like wake up call. I was like, oh, I feel like myself again. I feel like very like, kind of like, I felt very like Maddy. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm not depressed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes it takes space away and with other people to be like, oh shit, I'm supposed to feel loose and normal and not uptight. And like I'm not living with someone who I'm not as compatible with as I thought. And that space away can be very like telling.
In the last couple of years as soon as the pandemic started, I thought that you were one of like the top level motivated comedians that we've seen, where you accepted the pandemic and you started working from there right away. You were like, okay, I'm stuck at home. I'm doing videos now. Now I'm taking this podcast to this level. Like I felt like your production level was combating whatever depression usually us artists have. And you were like moving forward. And I feel like it would be inevitable if your partner wasn't moving as forward, because you were like a good freight train coming through that wouldn't work out.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I am a comedian full time. So that's like why I went so hard. So, and he still has like a 9 to 5. So I think there was artistic differences. Yeah.
Did you say autistic differences?
No, I said artistic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting.
Artistic. But now that the pandemic is over, or whatever you want to say, now that things are like opening up.
We're not.
But like, that's why I did my air quotes, because it's like to some, it's over. Right. Now that things are open up, I'm kind of like reaping those benefits. And like when things open up last year toward like the breakup, I was like really like, oh shit, I did all this work over COVID and now it's all paying off. And now I want to like take this next part of my life alone. Beyond any sort of relationship drama, I was like, I want to be alone for this next chapter because things are about to cook.
It doesn't work when like the guy says, I'm very supportive. And you're like, yeah, but you got to do shit too. And they're like, I'm super supportive. I'm really, really, really proud.
I know, right? But I'm so proud. And they are doing shit, but you're just like, oh, I'm about to be doing shit, you know?
Right. Did there seem to be any jealousy or just resentment that he's not trying as hard as he should as a person?
No jealousy. I don't think there was jealousy. Okay. Definitely full supportive. I just feel like when you start making moves and you can like see your future start to unfold, like you have to choose the selfish route and be like, I need to be alone or else I'm gonna become like a toxic significant other, I feel like, because you can sort of see yourself getting too busy. And I also stopped like sharing stuff with him just because like it was easier than like, it was like list of priorities kind of got shuffled a little bit.
I remember a girl dumping me because a female, excuse me, dumping me because she was very upset that I wasn't going to college and she was going to Brown University. And I'm like, sure, but we're both working in the same fucking restaurant. Like, shouldn't we wait until you get a degree? Then I mean, what's the fucking difference? Yeah, we're both eating mac and cheese thinking we're getting away with free chicken in it.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it sad when you're the one who's like, just come on, we can make it work? Yeah. When I was in high school, my older boyfriend was going to Vassar. And I was like, I'll visit you every week. Like, blah. And then the week before he left, he was like, yeah, we're done here. My dad said I shouldn't be in a relationship. I'm like, let me talk to him. Let me talk to your dad.
And now we're dating.
You kind of feel like a peasant when when you're the one who is trying to keep them and they're like, no, I need to go. I felt like a peasant kid.
Yeah, because you're also like, shouldn't this wait? If it's going to work out, it will work out when you're busy, when I'm busy, when we're both, whatever. It should just work out.
Right.
Right. Like it's not, oh, as soon as I have a career, maybe I won't be able to text you as much, but we're still in this same relationship.
It should work. Yeah. If it was a good relationship, it wouldn't even have been, of course, you're coming on with me.
Right.
I just,
Because I can't see my parents. My parents have their version of whatever a relationship is, which I accept as their relationship. Right. But if my mom used to take us to Israel for 2 months in the summer, and it's like my father wasn't there the entire time. Do they break up because my mom's doing this other thing? You know, it sort of feels like that.
Yeah, there's a million things that we could blame, like, oh, I'm moving on forward, but it was just like a dead relationship by the end. Whether or not the pandemic happened, it probably would have ended anyway. I feel like it's fair to have like chapters of your life where you're like, that was it, and now it's closed.
Totally.
I understand the idea, of course, of, this just, you feel like he feels like it just happened to him. So he wants to, even if he saw it coming or not, and he wants to bitch, and he has a working microphone. By the way, people aren't supposed to have working microphones in their house, but that's the world we live in. Right? So you get in trouble sometimes. But at the same time, if I dated Maddy, I want to keep us friends so you can say to the next girl, successful Maddy Smith, we dated. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I fucked her.
Women love that.
I let her come. Yeah, I feel like you just get intertwined and it becomes.
I get it. Yeah.
You always start something where you're like, let's just make sure we stay healthy no matter what happens. And then 2 years later, you're like, I fucking hate you and your mom is weird.
And the weirdest part of your mom being weird is that you don't admit she's weird.
You won't admit
it.
Why do you call her every day? I know, they'll never admit it. They're like, shut up, it's my mom. I'm like, dude, she's weird. But also with every relationship, you learn, like, I don't understand how people get married at 22. I'm like, now I'm 30 and I'm like, okay, I'm another relationship that taught me what I do and don't like and how to be a good person in a relationship. How do you get married at 22?
It doesn't sound like there's any crying during the breakup, right?
It was crying.
Okay.
You make me sound like a freaking sociopath.
Well, I just mean, I know I'm thinking.
We are done.
When I was let go and then the woman's crying and I'm consoling her. But meanwhile, I'm like,
right.
But you did it though. Like, yes, it's both our faults, but it was your idea. Now I got to console you. This feels like a trick. You just wanted a hug.
Well, the person crying is not the one who's more sad. That's just the one who responds with tears to shit.
Yeah.
Like that's it. The person not crying doesn't mean they don't have feelings. It just means their response to bad shit is, later turning on a microphone or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I tapped her head and handed a washcloth, but in the end, what am I going to do? Are we over or not?
That honestly sounds on brand.
Men are so weird. You guys are so weird. The minute someone breaks up with you, they're like, I don't even know you. Get out. You go from like baby talking us to like, okay, well, I'll put the spectrum in your name. Just leave. It's so like the minute it goes from baby talk, goo goo gaga, to like, I am a robot. I will split the olive oil exactly in half.
Is this silly task?
Because in New York City, your investment is not, it's like you're renting. Your investment is things like, we bought the bulk olive oil.
Yeah, literally.
I'm not leaving here without half.
I'm not leaving here, and I'm taking one piece of the sectional couch. I'm taking the L part of the couch. So, bye.
I'm taking the lowercase part of the L couch.
Yes, exactly. And now you can have the letter I. So.
It sounds like you're in no hurry to date, but are you anti-comedian for now, or you're not even thinking about it?
Please be the lesson that you learn. If there's a lesson here, that's
I'm anti-architect now. So.
Oh, okay.
Because if you, well, if you can't switch teams, because it's really not a choice, unfortunately.
Right.
Then at least you could switch careers. Like this.
Fully agree. I have even the hooking up with a comedian. I'm like, oh, I don't want you knowing and seeing my parts. It's just weird. And then they go talk. Like I heard just from people who have hooked up, it always gets back to like, I know stuff about bitches in the community just because guys hooked up with them.
Females.
I know, and we made fun of Keith for saying ladies. But everything is back. I know how big people's dicks are. I know what everyone's like in bed. And I don't want people to know that about me. Yeah. Not that I'm crazy. I'm literally like missionary lights off. But I don't want my stuff to get out there. It's all creepy.
You said with the talent of being so improvisationally fantastic, you don't like dirty talk. I heard on your podcast, right? You won't do it.
No, I'll match people's. If a man starts dirty talking, I'll be like, yeah, I like your cock. But I don't really like doing it. I talk all day. I talk all day. Shut up.
Can I tell? I don't like it either. And it's great when they're vocal. Like you can be as vocal as you want. But now I have to come up with conversation and it makes me nervous. And it's like, do you like that? And I'm like, okay, do you like that? Is easy. And then, but all I want to say is, yeah. Can we move on?
Me too. I'm like, I'll like lengthen the to take up more time. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Or like, it's so good.
I know. I'm like, my line will be like, to make them feel, I'm like, why does it feel so good to make them feel good? I'm like, holy shit, why does it feel so good?
Again.
And then they're like, hell yeah, I'm doing my job. But
even
you
though
will
we
not
live
catch
together,
me.
it's just better and better and better.
No, I know. You will not catch me like beyond the basics. Who, what, where, when, why.
Right.
But I don't like that. I do feel like we're wrong and they're right. Yeah. Like there should be slightly more ease in a conversation. But I do feel like, and even like lights on is like, shouldn't we be feeling our way around this? Shouldn't everything be like in this zone of like, whether you have your eyes open or your mouth open or whatever is open, it should just still feel great. But
so no role playing? No role playing? Like you'll be Nick Cannon, you need your ninth baby. Like nothing like this?
I don't really role play. I'm too lazy. Again, I'm on stage all day. Just put it in my clam and call it a day. Sorry, I feel like I'm getting too dirty this whole podcast.
Clam? We say female.
Oh, my bad.
That's right.
But I don't role play. I don't dirty talk. I don't do a lot of different positions. But I have heard, like I hooked up with a guy and he told me that all the younger girls are adding all these bells and whistles. They want to be choked. They want to be thrown around. They want to be. So when I come in and I'm like, hey, missionary is good for me, guys are now like, oh, cool.
Refreshing.
Like guys are refreshed by my vanilla because everyone else is begging for 10 gangbang cock ass in the mouth, coming out the mouth while in the vat. Like so much come play and all sorts of stuff. And I'm just a regular old gal with an IUD. And to them, they're like, thank God.
You stop them. You're like, you don't have to spit in that. Like, oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, they start whipping me. I say, Not soft. Be soft.
Like
that's such a good point. And I didn't really consider that the vanilla aspect could be like, oh, phew, I don't have to like be worried that I'm choking too hard or like learn this like very mild version of what people consider a mild version of S&M. I didn't really think of that because they used to complain about missionary because they have to quote, do all the work.
Right.
Now they're going back to like, oh, I'll do missionary.
Totally. And I'm thankful for the other girls who have, put out those demands so I can be an easy lay.
Aw.
I'm a people pleaser.
All this talk could be triggering for somebody. Let me mention this. BetterHelp online therapy. I use it. Chemda uses it. We're fucking evolved. Obviously, you're females and all that. I love BetterHelp. Chemda, tell people I'm not lying. You're a fan.
Yeah, it is really great. And I do think that you cannot be the only one who doesn't need help. It's just if you keep all your thoughts in your mind, it's a really bad idea. You think you're like being normal and I'm not saying what normal is, but you think you're being yourself or you're being relaxed and there's this stuff inside of you. Use it one time because it's a lot easier. It was a lot easier for me to find a therapist through BetterHelp than my own insurance. So use it one time, have that first therapy session feeling to at least know what you're rejecting. Like go in there and just say one story of your life and listen to it out loud in front of someone else and see that you might benefit from this sort of like confessional thing, at least to just kind of let it out. You might find some stuff that you didn't even know was there. It's a good idea.
And you could talk. I love it. I didn't know what I would expect. It's weird at first because you don't know where to take it. Guess what? They're professionals. They know where to take it. Then you know what you want out of it. I told my therapist on day 2, you know what I liked? It was pithy saying. So make sure I take something away, right? In fact, at the end of one session, I'm like, I don't think I got a saying. And they're like, time takes time. I'm close enough. All right, done. See you soon. I love it. BetterHelp is customized online therapy. They offer video, phone, even live chat, more affordable than in-person therapy. I would think it's the opposite, but it's not. Give it a try. Over 2 million people have. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Keith and the Girl listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/KATG. That's BETTERHELP.com/KATG. Now,
can I say one more thing about
yes.
that? Because it could be
I allow it.
Thank you. Because when you're signing up to something like this, and even when you're going to a regular therapist through your insurance, they will ask you a series of questions like, why are you here? And, what did you think of this? That could be intimidating because it feels like you need therapy even just to answer that. I don't know for all of it.
Yeah. They said like and you wrote down 3 things. Your third thing, and I'm like, yeah, I was just reaching for the third thing. Don't worry about that one.
Yeah, just say I don't know. That's what I hope to get to therapy is to learn how to answer these questions. That's it. Right. I don't know. It's perfectly fine.
So betterhelp.com/KTG. All right. Let's speaking of relationships, I think I'm caught up with what's going on with Kanye West. I think I'm ready to report, although by the time you hear this, something new might happen. Somebody might be living on Mars. But Kanye West was trying to get back with Kim Kardashian and his family. And I'll read you some of these quotes that he's been putting out. At the same time, he was dating somebody named Julia Fox. I don't know if that makes it harder to get back with a wife or not, to have a girlfriend on the side, but okay, whatever.
I didn't hear about that. So that was happening. That
was happening. And Julia Fox just broke up with him.
Yeah.
She didn't like that he kept it. He didn't like that. She didn't like that Kanye kept dissing Pete. In fact, but when dissing, I mean threatening his life. In a song, there was one song lyric recently. I'm glad God saved me from that car crash so I can kick Pete Davidson's ass. And then he has somebody on it go, who? So very clever. Then there was one recently saying he's going to have 100 people of his crew pull up to SNL. That's in a song called City of God, by the way. So I don't know if the religion thing is on hold or what, but
and he said Pete Davidson has AIDS.
He said Pete Davidson has AIDS and crabs and all this.
Okay, this is absolutely 100% a reason to break up with someone. Imagine you're dating someone who's so obsessed with not just the person, their ex, but their ex's current partner.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be a god.
Picture his role playing. You're Kim and Pete. Bend over,
I know. I feel bad for making a scene about a podcast.
Right.
When Kanye's attacking someone who also has, like, Pete Davidson has public mental health issues.
Right. So
for obviously Kanye does too, but like Pete Davidson is like historically unwell.
But so is Kanye.
Is Kanye, but I don't know.
For Valentine's Day, Kanye sent Kim a black pickup truck filled with roses. So many roses in the bed of this truck, they're spilling out the side down the highway, right? There's a paint job on the side that says, "My vision is crystal clear," and crystal clear is both with K's. So for him being black, his ex loves the letter K, and he knows that, and he's going to do whatever it takes, right? And I guess I picture being in that flower shop too. It's like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Deliver these flowers and just wait there all day, but stay safe because we're getting paid $1 million.
Well, by the way, when people say things like, and I got her 1,000 roses or, 10,000 daisies or whatever the fuck, I'm like, the hell is she going to do with that? First of all, what did you do? You know what I mean? These like empty shells of things when you're filthy rich and you call someone and go, can you throw a bunch of roses into a car and pull up somewhere? It's like, what am I falling in love with? And it's Kim Kardashian. She's like, I can have 2 of these cars in 10 minutes show up for me also. What are we, like, competing assistants? I don't care.
Do you look at the driver like, can you put them in a bag, I guess?
Yes. Immediately, I'm like, the cleanup is going to be a lot.
Yeah. He calls Pete Skeet. I guess like that song from the window to the walls, right? Skeet, you're jerking off.
Or Skeeter from Doug.
So people start saying, hey, you want me to kick Pete Davidson's ass? Just regular people. And so finally he tweeted, "No, don't hurt Skeet. I'll take care of it." To which Kim responded, "Thank you for saying that, because people would be out of control."
Wow.
Okay. All right. Then
And Pete Davidson hasn't said anything, has he?
Pete Davidson in private, and we know this because then Kanye made it public, said, "Kanye, may I please meet your children? I'd like to get to know them." Now, is that just egging somebody on? "I want you dead. Can I meet your children?" Actually, I already did so.
Yeah, that's not your place to do at all.
Right.
Right.
Maddy?
I just feel like they're both off their rocker. I think Kim Kardashian plucked out Pete Davidson for her own PR thing, and now it's all backfiring, and everyone looks insane.
I see that. I can easily see that. So Kanye
If
wrote
I was
back.
Pete Davidson, I would probably not acknowledge anything that Kanye says.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I didn't see it as Kim looking crazy at all. I think she looks like she's post breakup.
Kanye.
That's just kind of, what do you do post breakup? Pete Davidson. That's cool. That's like in line with what happens.
Maddy.
I don't know. For me, I'm like, the Kardashians are. You want me to bang Pete Davidson?
I'm just asking. What are you thinking?
The Kardashians. I'm like, everything's just PR. I just feel like their whole game plan is mapped out like 5 years in advance. Like someone planned this out years ago.
Well, she said, "Now I'm doing things for me." So she's of a certain age where that's a weird excuse. Now that'd be pretty devastating to hear. "Well, my family wanted me to marry you. You understand. But now these last 2 years, it's for me."
This is for me. I'm 40.
Right. Thanks for the children, but now I'm doing things for me.
Right.
So
my mom did the same too, and then she stopped parenting me.
See? Kanye tweeted out that, or whatever, Insta, may I meet your children? And Kanye wrote back, "Never, idiot." And
so eloquent.
Yeah. And he already did, of course. And does Pete, like, is he really tempted to be like, "Yeah, but you didn't think I'd fuck your wife either. So, but okay. All right."
I can't see, like, why, Keith, you're dating someone with children. Did you text her ex to go, "Can I meet your children?" That's between them. Right. This is real adult shit. These are children. It's not funny.
Right. Also, really weird. Also, her ex would have been like, "Meet them, take them." What clue did you get when I moved to Florida?
Pay for them. I'll send you an invoice for everything I pay for them.
Yeah, right. Here's a couple invoices and good luck.
Rich people
Go ahead.
You mentioned something about your mom. I think one of your first episodes with us, you talked a little more in detail about that. So I just want to remind people, keithandthegirl.com/Maddy Smith. We did not just roll over that comment. That is, you had some significant times with your mom and her dating life. So I didn't want to gloss over that.
And unfortunately, we didn't have the money that the Kardashians, the Davidson, or the Kanye West team had. So I was kind of just trailer trash. But I can imagine how this back and forth would affect a child of the media.
Right, you didn't have this much media either, yeah.
No.
Is that where voices came from? Like trying to cover up something when you were a kid?
That's just my schizophrenia.
Yeah, nice. I'm going to put that down for a yes.
And that too. Absolute coping. But I'm also like, do the kids even consume media? Like, do the kids know that they're like national? Like, does Northwest know that she's like...
Well, Kanye has complained about, I have it here somewhere. Let's see. "You kidnapped my daughter, Chicago, and let their daughter, North, 8 years old, go on TikTok. This is sick." And Kim's like, she likes it. These people like doing it. He's like, "No, they don't like doing it. This is my first divorce," Kanye said to the public. "I need to know what I should do about my daughter being put on TikTok against her will."
None of these people have lawyers. No lawyer is tapping in like, "Hey, you're going to lose your children."
Right.
Yeah.
Kanye's constant need, she said, for attacking me in interviews and on social media is actually more hurtful than any TikTok that North might create. So there. She filed for divorce in February 2021. She has 4 kids with West. Oh, I forgot that. North, Chicago, Saint, and Psalm. That should have been a clue, but all right, good for them.
Dude.
Does
Also,
it?
yeah, I am curious about that kind of thing where Kanye is very into God and I don't know what her choices are, but to name my child Psalm,
Yeah.
like that you have to really actually be into the Bible, right?
Right.
I
Deuteronomy.
guess, yeah.
The names were getting weirder and weirder, and Kim had to leave.
Keith is next.
Does it affect the way you listen to his music? I wonder if it's going to. Like anytime he talks about being a hard ass, I'm just gonna be like, oh, you kind of look so fucking weird and weak now. Like Tom Cruise, for example, it looks like he's gonna be in the new Doctor Strange movie, and he plays a different version of Iron Man. Iron Man's iconic now. So when you see Tom Cruise, you're like, oh, Tom Cruise. So this Iron Man is pretty badass. You put it together in your head. Will this affect the way we listen to Kanye's music now?
I think people listen more because he's been in the spotlight so much that people listen more, but it doesn't matter because his last couple albums haven't been that great.
That's true.
Remember that song that was like Scoop-de-doop, Scoop?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Well, now he has a thing. I guess he has some kind of music player. I don't really understand it, but it's $200 to get, and that's the only way you can get his second Donda album. Okay. Donda 2 will cost you $200 supposedly.
So that's not something I'll be doing.
Right. Your first one, people were laughing at your first Donda album, but all right. Yeah, the second one's now $200. Well, fuck you. We'll see if you want it.
It's like when Jay-Z do people does anyone download Tidal anymore? Remember Tidal?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You use it?
No, I don't use it, but I know what you're talking
about.
Remember
they tried to do that and we were all like, no, we're not doing that.
Sorry, going back real quick. Is the consensus that Tom Cruise is badass?
He has gravitas, whether you like him or not. It's someone when you see in a movie and you see a guy that you're like, oh, this guy's famous. You see Christopher Walken, you're like, that's Christopher Walken. I know he's important. This character is most likely very important.
That's so funny because I see Tom Cruise as this like little man who jumps up and down on Oprah's couch. So if people can get over that, then they can get over this Kanye thing. I think if you just put out the whatever you do, if you just put it out good, they'll forget anything you do. They forget that you rape children as long as you put out a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are coming to see your movies like of rapists.
Right.
Armie Hammer is like rumored to be coming back into a freaking movie, and he ate people.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys tell me, but that makes us chill because you're like, oh, I said a weird thing on a podcast once, like,
right.
Oh,
I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Kim Kardashian was in a Vogue shoot, so Kanye put a picture of the shoot, a picture of being in the magazine. God, please bring my family back together. Meanwhile, in that article, Kim is talking about how much happier she is. For so long, this is what I was alluding to. I did what made other people happy. And I think in the last 2 years, I decided I'm going to make myself happy. And then he posted that picture and said, but I hope we get back together. He can't even bother reading these magazines.
How is that his hope, though? Who is this? Who would I be getting back with? This person who yells at this dude I'm fucking? Like,
who posts on Instagram like a crazy person with an X over Pete Davidson's face.
Oh, here's a new post. This just in. Kanye West. I've learned that using all cap. Now this is written with commas in the right places, periods in the right places, and normal writing.
Someone got a publicist.
That's what it seems like. I'm learning that using all caps makes people feel like I'm screaming at them. I'm working on my communication. I can benefit from a team of creative professionals, organizers, mobilizers, and community leaders. By the way, that's the people that wrote this. I could do better with Pete and Chemda and Maddy. They're the best. Thank everybody for supporting me. I know sharing screenshots was jarring and came off as harassing Kim. I take accountability. I'm still learning in real time. I don't have all the answers. To be a good leader is to be a good listener.
Oh my God. And how many I don't have all the answers are we going to listen to? Can you maybe write it down when you have the answers? Because I don't even remember the question. What the fuck?
All these stock lines. I don't have all the answers. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm a human being. Blah, blah, blah. You could do a Mad Lib of celebrity apologies. I own up. Too edited. And no matter what you do, Twitter will be like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah,
well, it's always I'm taking responsibility, but never a finished sentence. When you're taking responsibility, you have a list of responsibilities. Mm-hmm. I am taking responsibility for, but, and it's like there's actual details. Otherwise, what are you taking responsibility for? For what we have to do all the time? Are you getting the milk now? What is your responsibility?
Yeah, what are you running errands, picking up your prescriptions at Rite Aid? You tell us.
I texted Kanye and I said, you want to get your woman back? Manscaped has launched their ultra premium collection. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
It's even better. Believe it or not, it's for your not so private parts, they say. Well, of course it is. I'm talking about a leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man that covers you from head to toe. And I mean literally. What am I talking about? I'll tell you. You hop in the shower, you scrub that body with the Manscaped body wash. Then you can lather your hair up with the 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. You can dry off and spray on the hydrating body spray. Then put on the Manscaped deodorant for obvious reasons. Pop that Manscaped lip balm on so you're ready for kissing. Getting dressed, they say? That's optional. Here's what you do. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code KATG20, one word, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code KATG20 at manscaped.com. I got all those products in my bathroom right now. True story. The power of attraction is now in a bottle thanks to Manscaped. Thank you.
And we're more in person a little more now. And by the way, I'm not kidding. I can go get it right now. We have our Manscaped buzzer here. We brought it to Amsterdam, then to Malaga. It's been in our suitcase.
That's how you keep the spice alive.
Nice, fresh, shorn pubes.
Good for him. Hey, what's going on, by the way, with Bob Saget? Have you been? Well, I mean, he's in heaven, but
not much.
Did you hear that? So there's these violent rumors that somebody came into his hotel room and beat him in the back of the head with a baseball bat.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they found
Kanye.
I don't know.
I thought he had internal head trauma, but
no. Really? Now it seems like there was a bash on the skull, bigger than just falling over and hitting something.
Oh,
and the word bat has come out more than once, and I don't know how much is just rumor.
What?
The family just put out. Let's see. A Florida judge granted Bob Saget's family a temporary injunction Wednesday to block the release of photos and records related to the investigation of a fatal head injury.
Oh my God.
So maybe they could just not want it out there because it's sad or it's, it's sick to be looking at a picture of him on the floor.
Right.
But it's it's interesting. The decision came a day after Saget's widow and 3 daughters sued Florida officials to block the distribution of evidence in the case after a medical examiner ruled the comic died last month after striking his head in an Orlando hotel room. Orange County Circuit Court Judge agreed to halt the release of the documents, saying the court needed time to weigh the family's legitimate privacy interest against the public's claim for disclosure. That's right. I'm Keith. What about my rights?
Mm-hmm.
See this fucking skull.
Sing it, girl.
Get to the bottom of this. Interesting. All right.
What do you guys think of that? Because I am okay with if I die and if I die weird or traumatic, put it all out. If it has to do with like addiction or whatever, I don't want the taboo to stop it. But I understand that like now, whenever you Google someone or whenever that comes up, that's going to be the image and you're leaving other people behind to deal with it. Yeah. What do you think if your partner passed away and there were pictures and there might be foul play? Would you, if you had all this power to do it and so quickly, would you stop them?
Yeah,
I'd let it keep going for Chemda's benefit, and she can turn the podcast into a mystery podcast that everybody loves. True. I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, get to the bottom of it.
True. Everyone loves press. Everyone loves press. People love true crime.
Yeah, I'll feel like I'm podcasting from heaven somehow.
But what about?
I would definitely keep it under wraps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would definitely keep it under wraps, because I don't want these murder pictures to come up before my beautiful headshots. I paid $400 for those.
Apparently, all I had to do was break my head into a wall, and now I'm the big cheese.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, all of a sudden it's and I have to caption it. It's a Mindy.
You know what? You can take my picture, but only if it's a Mindy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. With reservation.
But what do you think, Mandy? No, Maddie. If your partner passed away,
Right. I would keep it. I would keep that under wraps, I think. But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see myself ever having a partner again. So it's a real chicken or egg situation. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say a fun saying that I got from my BetterHelp therapy. But I will say, I would probably keep that shit under wraps. That's like traumatizing.
Yeah.
I go, is that your saying, therapist? Chicken or egg? And she goes, time's up.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah. Here's some big news. Speaking of death, thousands of baptisms at a Catholic church in Arizona have been marked invalid because the priest used the wrong words in performing the ceremony.
I saw that. I feel like there's some flexibility here.
It's not about intent. It's that he said, we baptize you instead of I baptize you.
So?
Meaning Jesus Christ only through me baptizes you, not the community. Although there are three people in one God, you would think you can easily look back and go, you know what? The comma was in the right place, actually.
Yeah, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Like it's all three of them. I don't know.
I guess Jesus really does that part, I guess.
Do we know how they found this out?
I don't know how they found it out. Like, was there a bishop in the room at the time and said, wait a second, how many times have you been saying that? For years. How many people are affected? Thousands. Yeah. Why?
And so now what do they got to do? Send them a letter like the IRS?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have qualified for a rebaptism.
Hopefully there's contact tracing, You would only know if you've been donating and they have your address.
Right.
Haven't we learned that pronouns have some flexibility?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Haven't we learned that I and I is we, and there's all kinds of ways to use language. Also, how I think they probably found this out is somebody wants to get married to, let's say, a Jew, and it's like, no, you were baptized. And it's like, let me review these files. Yeah. Oh, look, I had
shit.
Like you get a ticket, but like they misspelled your name, and you go, Your Honor, am I really Kahali? Do I look like a Kahali?
Right.
Let's let this go.
Totally. It's like a recall on romaine lettuce.
The way I was taught by my dad, who's fucking insane, if you're a kid and you die before baptism time, you do go to heaven because you didn't commit any sins, but you don't get to see God because fuck you. If you're past the age when you should know to get baptized, then you don't go to heaven at all because you fucking blew it. Because it means you don't believe in God.
As you're saying this stuff, I'm like, there are adults that like really believe that. As you're saying it, I'm like,
no, I know.
How do we make that real in your head? Can you imagine what else you're falling for if this is the shit that you're like, yeah, that's right. My baby doesn't get to meet God, but at least they're in heaven. And you just sit there and you have coffee and you talk about regular shit.
I got patted on the ass one year. I think I was 18. I'm in, I hope not 18. That's embarrassing. Let's say 16. Fuck. Let's say 12. Anyways, way too old.
I bet it won't matter. Go ahead.
And I went to, I think it was Sound of Music, high school play. And my dad said he snuck in and didn't see me there, and I lied. And I'm like, no, I really was there. But he would not believe me. But Mary had a baby and no sex. There's no way I was in that fucking auditorium and you just didn't see me. It was standing room only. There's no way that happened. Interesting. Interesting.
Well, Keith.
Yes.
When you could have miracles happen through your body, then you get to say that you've not been places like in sex land.
Right.
Like, no, I totally didn't have sex. Why don't you tell him like you got pregnant that night? Just tell him that.
That's more believable, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Father Andre Arango, that's his name, resigned from the St. Gregory Parish Church, but he's still going to be a priest. In Phoenix earlier this month, after diocese leaders discovered he had mistakenly used the phrase, we baptize you instead of I baptize you for years. His error
So
means
that's what gets you kicked out, not touching children.
No, literally.
you still can be you just get the same punishment as fucking children. You move to another church.
Yeah, they transfer him quietly.
That's all they know. His error means that countless baptisms, an irrevocable requirement for salvation in Catholic theology, will have to be performed again. And some churchgoers could find their marriages are not recognized.
Shut up. You don't think God's up there going through paperwork?
Are you cheating on me? I wasn't even baptized, baby. Who are you?
Right. I'm not even Catholic. Suck my dick.
An invalid baptism invalidates any subsequent sacraments, especially confirmation, marriage, and holy orders. You can't even get last rites.
You know what?
You wouldn't know it.
This guy fucked with the wrong person. This is what's happening. This guy, they want him out, and he has tenure or whatever the fuck version of the church that is. And they're like, we are so fucking sick of you. You know who this is? Keith, your dad, but he never found your mom. And now everyone, like, he found the church to work in. And then they were like, oh my God, this fucking Mally guy. Can he please touch children so we can move him to another church? We put 1 million children in front of him. He's the one, not pedophile. All right. Get him on a pronoun. No, find the fucking pronoun.
Find something.
There's going to be a loophole. It's a big, dumb book. Come on. And obviously this isn't in the Bible. It's an earthly rule. They could change it. What's bound on earth is bound in heaven. You can change it and go, no, actually, that's okay that he did that. It could be that easy. And magically the news makes it to heaven somehow.
That's why I'm saying they don't like this guy. There's something with him. It just feels very personal. After you guys named all the we's that could happen, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, me and God together, we just means I, just like they does. Who gives a shit?
You should be honored that someone still wants to work in the Catholic Church because literally no one is like pursuing religion anymore. So
the bishop
to yell at someone who's not even a pedophile, like, bro.
Right. The Bishop of Phoenix urged churchgoers to, quote, join me in praying for Father Andre, but pray for what? And all those who are going to be impacted.
That's like a bless his heart. Like,
right.
And on the way with you, let's just bless him out. Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. You're free.
Andre, you think he's a priest of color?
Let's see. Well, Phoenix is very sunny. So it saddens me to learn, says the father, that I have performed invalid baptisms throughout my ministry as a priest by regularly using an incorrect formula. And we all know God is just fucking so. I deeply regret my error and how this has affected numerous people in your parish and elsewhere. Adding that he would remain a priest and, quote, dedicate my energy and full-time ministry to help remedy this and heal those affected.
Okay, now you have the power. Is God going to get you for that also? No, I do the healing. You're just some ball of meat. Yeah. I can't believe how petty God is too.
No, I know.
Holy shit, you used the wrong pronoun with God. It's over.
Then it's like, I don't even want to be in this club anymore. Like, I'm quitting. If God's going to be petty about that, like, okay, well.
Sorry, but to me, that's weird.
To me, that's weird.
Yeah, like I was into the three wise men and
but this pronoun thing is like, yeah, I'm quitting. We can work from home now. Like, I'm sorry, not sticking around. Employee morale is low.
And this is a recent rule, meaning there was a Vatican 2020 Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, which, along with declaring COVID-19 vaccines are, quote, morally acceptable. Oh, thank you. Also spelled out the correct words that needed to be used during baptisms. So, you know how like a dentist, doctors, almost anything, you go to these different groups and you hear what's the latest in our profession. Mm-hmm. I guess this guy didn't know. We changed the words in 2020.
But they keep changing the word. Like, I was raised Catholic, and when you go back to mass, they always change the words, and they're just doing it to catch the people who haven't been holy for the past 20 years. Right. They catch you. They catch you when you have to go to mass on a wedding, and you're like, oh, fuck, dude. I don't know the lyrics to this one.
The Vatican announced the congregation affirms that baptisms administered with modified formulas are invalid, including we baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. The declaration was deemed necessary following questions over whether such phrasing meant that 3 separate holy entities were involved in the baptism or only one. The issue with using we is that it is not the community that baptized the person. Rather, it is Christ and him alone who presides at all the sacraments. And so it is Jesus Christ who baptizes. Mm-hmm. I do not believe that the Father had any intentions to harm the faithful or to, it's an evil thing. We baptize you next. We don't think it was deliberate or harmful. Well, fuck them. We don't think he wanted to deprive them of the grace of baptism and the sacraments. On behalf of our local church, I too am sincerely sorry that this error has resulted in disruption to the sacramental lives of a number of the faithful. You can easily make it okay.
I think the church was like, hey, no one's talking about religion anymore.
Right.
But there's something going on about pronouns.
Right.
Let's get current. Let's follow a hashtag or something. Let's get on this pronoun thing.
Yeah.
And they're just getting it wrong. They're like, this is what you mean, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It was supposed to be they, them. It's in their Twitter bio. Come on.
It's in their Zoom.
Yeah.
Anyone who is married after being baptized by this priest is asked to call the diocese urgently. How am I going to remember what happened when I was a baby?
Right.
Or have a nice talk with your spouse, I guess. Or learn how to explain to the government you're not married.
No, are they saying, so they're saying that you could not be legally married in the
Catholic church.
In the
right?
church, yeah.
Do you know how thrilled some people are?
Yeah,
and they might use that in their actual government marriage and say, hey, we were never married, so I'm not going to give this person what they normally would get if they married me, because in my holy opinion, in the thing that you guys acknowledge that is real, we were not married. So there's a lot of people that are happy.
You know about God, right? It's on my money. So yeah, it's a big deal that I'm not married anymore because, you could not get a COVID vaccine and be allowed anywhere for religious reasons, for example.
Right.
So yeah, that is a big deal. And that's right.
Yeah.
If your baptism was invalid and you've received other sacraments, you may need to repeat some or all of those sacraments after you are validly baptized as well. Yes, I've been at a first Holy Communion with 7-year-olds. And by the way, if you really have to, if everything's just so, I wonder if I really had the first Holy Communion, right? I was picking at my robe, I was smiling at girls. You're telling me that counted? I might not be Catholic. I don't know.
I don't think it's the religion to go with right now. There's a lot of rules. It's a man's club.
I'm going to say I was never in it. There.
Keith, you can't be gay, so.
I think what they're saying is feel free to cross your fingers behind you, because that's how easy it is to undo everything we do in this church.
Totally. Right. I think they're rapidly crumbling. They're definitely in their flop era.
Well, you want more and more people in. Don't be kicking people out.
No, that's what I'm saying. No one wants to be a part of your club anymore because you guys are fucking rude to women, gays, and everyone.
Yeah, follow our hashtag.
Yeah.
We the people. It's no.
I the person.
What if the Constitution is invalid? Anyway, I'll tell you about a club to join. OMAD
I'm sorry. 1 second.
Yes, Chemda.
I thought you were talking about OMAD club. I'm sorry. Okay,
this 1 second difference isn't tough at all. Yes, Chemda.
No. Go.
OMAD Club, it's the Spain edition. All right. Join OMAD Club while Chemda is in Spain. What is OMAD? Chemda put together a series of exercises that are all 1 minute long. And I know what you're thinking. What the fuck? 1 minute? How does that benefit anything? Well, you're coming a little hot, but okay. Here's what a member said. In the last 2 weeks, I've been attending OMAD consistently, and I've noticed my tendency to procrastinate is getting in check. These last 2 weeks of OMAD are helping me to take the small steps throughout the day, and my stress is more manageable. I've also lost 4 pounds, which I think is because I'm more mindful when I make choices, and I'm making healthier choices. Look at that. Yeah, don't hesitate. Don't be nervous. Here's another one. I would say, of course, I love OMAD. It sounds wacky, 1 minute at a time with strangers doing what? I would say there's no pressure to show your work or share at the end, and the group itself is very friendly, open, and accepting, even if you show up a hot stink mess. Chemda is very skilled, enthusiastic, but not that annoying kind. Great coach who has a soothing and encouraging voice, and Keith is chill and doesn't yell at us. That's nice. Still nervous? I'll tell you what, I'll give you a guarantee that you're going to love this. If you join OMAD, you don't like it, Keith Malley, I'll give you a full refund. How about that? If you're a VIP member, you also get a discount. KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. And by the way, if you have VIP, check your account. Go there right now, keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Not only do you get a discount for OMAC Club, you get a bunch of different options in the Keith and the Girl world. In fact, you have a free ticket for this Wednesday's Silent Trailers live virtual game show. Register for the live show for free with your membership. It's all right there. You'll see keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Now,
reminder that I murdered the last one.
You did murder the last one. That is
historic.
True. I'm calling the cops. I just needed the words on record. All right. Maddy Smith,
wow.
Here's how you follow.
Did I reverse that with my language in the Catholic Church?
That's right. MaddySmithComedy.com. That's the website you want to check out. Instagram is so Maddy Smith. You know, she does that. It's like, I'm so Maddy Smith.
I'm so Maddy Smith.
She said that during the breakup. Like, why? You know me. I'm so Maddy Smith.
I'm so Maddy Smith.
You want to download the podcast that time of the week. And well, you ask me, it's fucking juicy. It's hilarious and it's juicy. She's going through a thing whether she knows it or not. So check that out. Maddy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys for having me. It's so great to see both of you. I had a wonderful time.
Bless you. We'll talk to you next week.